We would like to invite Dr. Lodhi, Kaneez, Fatema, Niaz Ahmed, HOD Political Science, for giving introduction to our resource person of second session. Ma'am, please.
Dear participants, we have enjoyed first session. Now this is the second session. Our Honorable Advocate Afroz Siddique Sahab is with us. He is Advocate of High Court, having 25 years of service in High Court. At present, he is Council of Waqf Board, Standing Council and Advocate Panel, Ansari, Authority Government of Maharashtra. He is ex-member of Eradication of Corruption Committee of Government of Maharashtra, and now he is Telephone Advisory Committee member in Government of India. I request Advocate Siddique Sahab to join with us and share your knowledge and ideas about the Constitution and Judiciary. Yes.
Sir, please unmute yourself. Siddique sir, unmute yourself, sir. Sir, unmute. Sir, your speaker is off, sir. Please unmute yourself, sir. Sir, please. Siddique sir. Sir, अपने को इधर से unmute कर दो. नहीं ये कर इधर से कर देंगे. अपन सबको unmute इधर से करना पड़ेगा.
Hello.
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 Yes, sir. You are audible.
You can hear me.
Sir, you are audible. Sir, you are audible.
First,
you can continue, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Arrange your camera also, sir. Your video is not properly. We can see. Sir, please. Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. Okay. Very nice.
Now it is yes.
Okay, sir. Start your session.
First, I thank.
Please. Okay, sir.
First, I thank to management and staff of Jadid Anjuman Talim Arts and Science Commerce College of Malegaon for inviting me for this important sessions. So, as per that, I have allotted about the topic of the Constitution and Judiciary. So, I first want to that in two parts that Indian constitutions. So, with the people of India gifted ourselves the Constitution 72 years ago to run our republic as a liberal constitutional democracy. After independence, it was first task of the government to prepare our own constitution to run the said country, and therefore a 7-member committee has been formed by the Constituent Assembly under the chairmanship of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. And that committee has gone through all the exercise, and they have taken almost 3 years to prepare our constitutions. They have, assembly have almost 11 sessions, and finally on 29th November 1949, which is called as the Constitutional Day, it come to in that. And it was come in the force, and we know that from 26 January 1950. So the Constitution of the India is the largest of the world, and its provision were borrowed from that. Earlier there was the Government of India Act 1935, and there also borrowed from other country like United States, Ireland, Britain, Canada, Germany, Russia, France, etc. So it shows that concern of the committee member that our constitution should be one of the best constitution in the world. And it is also amended 105 times till today. So our constitution provides three main organs upon which the democracy is function. First organ is that legislature. Legislature is the law making body. There are two houses. Lok Sabha, we call it is the upper house, that lower house, and there is also Rajya Sabha, we call it is upper house. So first any bill has been introduced before the, if government want to introduce any bill, they can first draft the bill and submit before the Lok Sabha. And once the Lok Sabha has passed the bill with majority, then it is sent to the upper house, and thereafter Rajya Sabha pass it. That after passing from the Rajya Sabha, the bill sent to the President of India for President consent. One consent has been given by the President, then it become law. Even at that stage, we can later on discuss that. After that, court can also consider whether it is law is proper or improper. So second organ is, there is the first was that, second organ is executive, that whether that law, who will implement that law passed by the our Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. That executive is another important organ of the constitution. The role played by the executives, including the consentment of the law. And thereafter there is a third organ. Now it is also topic of the today discussion is the judiciary. If the law is not in force, literally, then the judiciary has to the power punish the guilty. So it is important role played by the judiciary. So if there is a constitution, so equally to it is important the judiciary's role is also there, that law can implement through by the judiciary. And now it is come to the topic is the role of the judiciary in our constitution. The Indian constitution protects the citizen from any partial judgment. That is why the supreme power is given to the judiciary to make decision based on the rule of law. Just my senior colleague just has also spoken about the rule of law, but the court is also Indian neither are not controlled by the government, and they do not represent any political authority. So we presume that there is the independent judiciary, and therefore there is a separation of power between the executive and the judiciary. This independent judiciary call for separation of power. This is basically mean that both the legislature and executive are not allowed to interfere in the functioning of the each other. So in order to successfully execute their independent authority, the judges of the both, the Supreme Court as well as the High Courts, must be appointed without any influence on the interference from the branches of the government or for the private authority. So for the independent of the judiciary is required to that should be appointed independently. So there is therefore that for that implementation of the constitution, there is a courts. Structure of court in our country is that there is a three branches of that. One is the district courts, which are mostly district court is available for the most of the citizen to go for their grievances before them. If the district court is there, if they want to appeal to against that order passed by the district court, they can approach to the High Court. High Court is also called as appeal court as well as it is also a constitutional court. So if anybody is not happy with the order passed by the even not satisfied with that High Court, they can approach to our apex court, that is called Supreme Court. So there is a three district court, High Court. Every state has High Court, and there is only one Supreme Court, that is called apex court. So the court is, judiciary is in that aspect, we say that the judiciary has the final hold of the Constitution of India. As if there is any violation of the fundamental right of the constitution, the court can even override law passed by the parliament. So now you can remember it, if any law passed by the parliament which is violate the our constitution, against the spirit of our constitution, that court has power to set aside that type law. So it is proved that Supreme Court has supremacy in that regard. And now it is at the backbone of the government, because whenever there is a dispute, the Supreme Court also not only functioning as an appeal court as well as constitutional court, but it is also supervising that if there is a dispute between two states, then the Supreme Court has power to settle the dispute between them. So if there is almost all the fundamental rights of the Indian citizen are defined in our constitution. In case of any citizen feel that any of the such rights are violated, they can approach their local high courts under Article 226. And they can approach for their violation of the fundamental right. If they are not satisfied, they can go to the high court, and high court will have jurisdiction to pass such order. As well as there is also power granted to the Supreme Court under Article 32. Anybody can directly, if his fundamental right has been violated by the government, he can write directly to approach to the Supreme Court under Article 32. And Supreme Court has every power to pass any such order which can set aside that order or direction passed by the government. And more importantly, that is the constitution has provided all the right and in the constitution to the public people of the India. But as well as there in 1980, there at that time the Justice P.N. Bhagwati and Justice Krishna Iyer, they have also started to entertaining that public interest litigation. That is also given power to the court. They can pass any order in favor of the general public. So see, after 1980, that concept is adopted by each high court. If anybody come as individual, file the petition for the purpose of general pupil benefit, then court started entertaining that called PIL. So that concept of the PIL, it is also, allegation was made being of the judicial activities which make the judicial process more democratic. So feature of the public interest litigation that is there, PIL is very affordable. The first thing is, we mostly know that if anybody want to go to the court and file the suit or cases, they require to pay the court fee. But in the case of that PIL, you're not required to the court fee. So PIL is very affordable because it can be fined almost no cost. And so poor people can also get justice. PIL can also file when human right or fundamental right are violated. So it can be, even PIL can be registered as a writ petition in the High Court or the Supreme Court. Any person can file of the for the interest of the group of people. It is not for themselves. He can file for others, which is also that which is also not cannot go before the court and demand their right. So now we can say that Supreme Court now today is doing the such and passing such order, which in several cases protecting the right of the citizen. So we can say that there is a supremacy of Supreme Court. So there is a executive power is there, legislature having their own power. But in all, we can say the Supreme Court has a supreme in all the things he can do. and pass such order which is in the benefit of the general people. And now we can say that now today that mostly people are discussing. Just last week, our one High Court Judge Justice Akil Qureshi has retired, and in his case also there was a discussion whether that there is an interfere because he has been he has so promote seeking that at that time what happened, because he was not promoted to the Supreme Court because he was senior Chief Justice of all over India. So that dispute was also arises whether there is an interference of political authority upon the Supreme Court. So there is a, we cannot say no, there is a allegation and it is a reality some way, but still there is a Supreme Court is independent because the appointment of the judges for the High Court or Supreme Court by the Collegium. Collegium is only has authority to appoint the judges in the High Court as well as the Supreme Court. So judges, there is also allegation that judges themselves, they appoint. So, but still due to their collegium system, there is some independency in our judicial system also. So now that due to that 2014, there was also, they tried to bring a act and they want to change the system to appointment of judges. But that act was also set aside by our Honorable Supreme Court. So now that only that Supreme Court is full authority to appoint the judges of the High Court and Supreme Court. So in that meaning of the independence of judiciary is still not clear. After years of existence, our constitution by the way of the provision just talk of the independence of the judiciary. Hello? 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 You can hear me? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Is there any
So
problem?
now I am discussing that.
Problem है?
वो म्यूट कर दिए.
अच्छा अच्छा.
No.
आ रही है सर,
audible.
आवाज आ रही.
So now the primary judiciary is on base hours. We talk of the independence of the judiciary as an institution from the executive and legislature. So in that, so now conclusion is that the Supreme Court of India democracy play a vital role, is the highest court in the Indian judicial system and one of their co-equal branches of the national government. It has primary, though an exclusive responsibility of interpretation of the Indian Constitution and defining the scope of content of escape position. As a principal guardian of the Constitution, the courts are frequently called upon to assess the availability of statute passed by the legislative majority. The Supreme Court in India also maintain a check and balance on the other two organs of the government. So it is fact of that the judiciary led by the Supreme Court has a time to make forays into the typical political arena, but it is retracted its own jurisdiction because of the self-realization of public outcry. So in the end of that, the Supreme Court has by and large played its constitutional role and there very well and always have held the principle of constitutionalism. The court must, there is a, should be remembered, the court cannot save the country, but they may able to by the necessary realization institution of the government, though it is very well established the fact that the judicial activities of the Supreme Court has helped in enforcing the right and interest of the citizen and also the keep the other branches of the government within their constitutional boundaries, the judiciary should constantly remind itself that the need of the hour is the supremacy of the constitution. So, gentlemen, I want to finally my word with the quote of Honorable Chief Justice of India, Justice N.V. Ramanna, say that a country is not defined by territorial boundaries. A country is defined by its people. The judiciary has a duty toward the people. I do not think there is any more patriotic act of the judiciary than redictating itself to uphold the constitution in the interest of we the people. Fakat wassalam. Thank for that.
Hello. Thank you very much, sir, for giving a very valuable and nice lecture. बिजी शेड्यूल होने के बावजूद भी सर ने हमको जो है टाइम दिया. सर मैं आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ अपनी मैनेजमेंट, प्रिंसिपल और स्टाफ